Hey, Pin Dude here, Fiero Doug. Just doing a follow-up video on the Dungeons and Dragons pinball machine that I'm working on for somebody else. And I'm mainly making this video for him, but I figured I'd throw it on my channel here to prove that I'm not dead. I know it's been a while since I've done some pinball videos. So if you watched my last video, I got a pretty dirty, non-working Dungeons and Dragons dropped off to me to work on. And got it mostly done now. So just continuation from the last video, and I'll show you what I did. Let me get some lights back on here. So, since the last video, I did a Marco pinball order just to get some parts that I needed to get things together. Most notably, I started to go through all the circuit boards. In the last video, I showed the fuse clips, which were really black. I actually have one right over here. Just really tarnished or burnt. I don't know what it is. They're just all black. I replaced a whole bunch of them. There's all the capacitors and other dead parts from the machine. So there's 32 fuse clips on the solenoid board. I replaced all those with shiny new fuse clips. I had also previously done all the ones on the CPU board. Changed out the capacitors. We got the coin cell battery, 2032 battery with the diode up here on the circuit board for saving the settings. Reflowed all the pin headers on the CPU and replaced the two capacitors on the CPU. I replaced the capacitors on the power supply board. Checked all the fuses, replaced all the fuses with the correct value. And then the soundboard. Also replaced all the capacitors on this board. And replaced the volume potentiometer here, which was really scratchy sounding and was not very pleasurable to use to the ear. So that buttoned up all the Backbox stuff. Luckily, the displays were in good condition. And they are working perfectly. Just reflowed the header pins on the back of the displays and gave them a good cleaning. And they all look good. Topper is present. And I replaced all the GI bulbs up there because most of them were burned out. All the flashers are working. And then we got to the playfield. I did a full topside teardown of the playfield. And came out pretty good. This game luckily has a full Mylar on it, so none of the flame, the writing on the flame decals is all in good shape. There is some bubbling to the Mylar, but it's not too bad. Gave the game, once I got it the topside torn down, gave it a good clean with a damp cloth just to get all the gunk off the playfield. And then I used Novus 2 to polish up the Mylar and clean all the playfield up. And then after that, gave it a good wax. I've been using the S100 paste wax. I really like this wax. It doesn't leave any white powdery residue like a lot of carnauba waxes do. It's a little more expensive than maybe a carnauba wax, but yeah, it's a big tube. It's going to last a long time. And it does a good job. Got all new balls in the machine. And it is fully working. So the sound is nice and crisp and clear now. Other than that, just gave a quick clean to the cabinet, put some new leg levelers on all the legs, and also did the volume pot in the cabinet here. The volume pot here was also really scratchy, so we got a new volume pot there. The new keyboard's hanging inside. Cleaned out the inside of the cabinet, gave it a good vacuum and wipe out. And I think other than some minor adjustments that I have left to do, this game is ready to go back to the customer to enjoy. And I think he's really going to enjoy this game because this is a really neat game. I never got to play one of these before. So glad I had the opportunity to work on this one. I also never worked on a Bally 6803 before, which is what this is. But it's very similar to the Bally -35 and -17 systems, just kind of an update to that system. Very solid system. They did cheap out on a few things, you know, like the single light bulb in the back box. And a lot of the Bally 6803s didn't have dedicated artwork, but this game obviously does have very beautiful artwork. No artwork on the front of the cabinet, though. Although I have seen like where people had a decal made with the blue bricks to put on the front, and that looks really good. But overall, it's a great looking game, a great playing game, and this one is no exception to that. It plays really good. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope to get back to making at least some videos. I have been working on working on the roller games right now. I actually do have Stingray and Countdown done, but hopefully I will talk to you all soon. So that's it for now. Talk to you all later. Later.